Hey guys, welcome to Destination Pentester. My name is Alfredo, and today we'll be talking about several different ways that you can start in your penetration testing career. Now, all of the ways that I'm going to display and show you that we'll talk about today, they are almost free. Actually, most of them are free except the first one, which is this book. So let's get started. The book is called The Basics of Hacking and Penetration Testing, Ethical Hacking and Penetration Testing Made Easy. So I actually bought this book. It's right here. And it is a really, really neat resource. So I read the entire thing. It was super easy to read. The author is a professor at a college, and that made a huge difference. Unlike most of my professors in college, he's actually a really good one. And he walks you through the entire process, holds your hand, and really helps you understand different concepts in penetration testing, as well as what are the different phases in a penetration test, what's expected, what you'll be doing, and he presents several tools. It not only introduces them, but gives you small, quick examples that you can run through with him, so you can get a taste of it yourself. So overall, I really liked the book. I think that it is really easy to read, so you'll go through it quick, which will make you feel good too after you're done with it, because penetration testing, it is a very, very steep mountain to climb. You can spend hours and hours, and it just feels like the days go by and you don't get much done, or you don't feel very accomplished. So I think that this book will not only be a good resource to introduce you, but because of the way that it is laid out, the content that it has, and the way that he explains it, that you'll be able to go through it quickly and feel like you have achieved something, which is going through a book, which is no small feat. So, now, let me just add a caveat to this. The book is for beginners, okay? I have a background that is not in solid IT. It's more so a little bit in information systems, accounting, finance. So this book was perfect for me. If you are a software engineer, if you are a system administrator, if you are somebody who has a lot of technical knowledge, don't expect technical knowledge and hands-on exercises here. This is not a technical book. It is a book that just introduces you to the topic, and it does that very well. So here are the chapters. So it's got 8 chapters in total. The first one is what is penetration testing. Then he goes on to talk about reconnaissance, which is the first phase in penetration testing. After reconnaissance, he covers scanning, then exploitation, social engineering, web-based exploitation, post-exploitation and maintaining access with backdoors, rootkits, and Metapredator, and then wrapping up the penetration test. So just like that, easy peasy, he covers all of these topics, and he does so in a very high-level way. It's just introducing you to the different topics so that you know that they exist, so that you know how they play a part in the entire penetration testing world, and what you can expect from performing a penetration testing engagement. After this book, you will not know how to do a pen test, but what you'll know is that you will be familiarized with the concepts, and then you'll be able to start practicing certain skills and using certain tools that he introduces to you. And then what I really like about the book, and this is one of my favorite parts about it, let's see. Let me show you guys. Is that he has, at the end of each chapter, he's got 2 topics. One of them is how do I practice this step? So he'll give you a couple of pages of, okay, I've introduced you to these tools. I've introduced you to these tactics or these methodologies. Now, how do I practice it? So he gives you a couple of pages running you through and helping you identify how to implement those steps and how to practice yourself, which I really like. And the second part is, where do I go from here? So after you practice those things, what do you do? How do you move on further, right? And he'll give you 2 or 3 pages telling you, okay, these are the things that you should look into next. And he'll provide the names of the tools, or he'll provide certain VMs that you can download from the internet. And he'll give you a lot of guidance in that way. I really love that. I think that that's my favorite part of the book, aside that it is very well written and it holds your hand through the entire thing. Because the world of penetration testing deals with technology. Technology is huge. It has so many dimensions and sides to it, and there's only so much time, right? So we really need to be focused and have a path to follow. And I think that this book does a really good job in helping you. Now, I haven't done the where do I go from here, or how do I practice this step, because, well, I've actually done just a little bit of it, but I haven't done it because I've actually started a course that I'll present and review with you guys later in this video. So overall, this is a great book for beginners. If you know nothing about penetration testing, this is a really good book to start off with. It's only $25, so it won't break the bank. It's easy to read. You'll get done with it quick, maybe in a week or 2 weeks, depending on where you are and how familiar you are with the topics. It may be a little more. I don't know. I don't remember how long it took me, but I remember that I was going through it pretty quickly. Oh, also my favorite part is there was a section of local password cracking. So I was able to hack into some old laptops that I had, for which I had totally forgotten the password, and I was able to stick a USB in there and then run a few commands, do a few things, and actually get back into the computer, which was really cool. Made me feel like a hacker. I know, I'm not a hacker at all. I am a complete noob, but nevertheless, it felt really good. And don't take those small victories for granted, because again, this is a really steep mountain to climb. We'll probably never reach the top because it's basically infinity, right? But so we need to take pride in those small victories for sure. So that's the first book. You can see that the ratings are 4.6 out of 5. So if we look at the most recent reviews, yeah, most of them are 5 stars. As we see, enjoyed this book very much, explains all concepts easily. Yeah, just like what I shared. This is an excellent resource for intermediate level cybersecurity professionals and students alike. I would say it's not really for intermediate level. Although, when I started with this book, I already had done a little bit of Pentester Academy. I had done some of their video courses, some of their attack defense labs. So I had a little bit of knowledge under my belt, but it was combobulated and I didn't really understand how everything fit linearly. And this book really helped me structure it better. So what else do they say? Great for getting started. Great for somebody getting... I'm totally new and really liked it. If you're getting to this class, you're in for a treat. Yeah, so really great reviews. Not really basic, but not far from it. Exceeded some expectations. Unlike the blue laundry ball of the 90s, it served its purpose. Okay, so I think it's a very well worth buy for beginners. I think you're gonna like it. You won't be disappointed. A few things that I didn't like about it. So let me review my notes. he doesn't provide many exercises for you, so don't expect that you're really going to be hands on the computer following step by step. He does not do that. He'll run you through very high level exercises, so you'll be able to run some commands with him. But I don't remember really getting into. I'm not really hacking into anything or really attacking any machines with him. He'll present the tools, he'll tell you how to use them, give you certain examples on how he runs the commands on one machine, and it's very high level. So don't expect that you're going to be hands on the keyboard on the entire thing, and he's going to show you multiple different ways of taking advantage of vulnerabilities on a target computer, because this is not the book for that. And probably that would be too advanced for a beginner level, right? Because you have pen testing, and under pen testing, you need to have knowledge of how networks work, how do computers establish a session via TCP, how do they communicate via UDP, all of these things that we're learning, or that you'll learn later. So that's one of the things. So one of the things I didn't like, or that the book could improve upon, that's better said, is having more exercises. But it's okay, because there's plenty of places where you can get more practice, and I'll have that in another video. The other thing that could be improved upon is that not everything that he lays out works. It's a little dated, so certain links no longer exist, and certain tools or certain steps have changed a bit because of updates, because of changes, etc. So just expect that. It's not going to be all perfect. Nevertheless, I still really enjoyed the book, and I would still recommend it to anybody who's looking into pen testing and desires to get a good idea of what it's like. I'll leave you with one last thing that I liked about the book, which is, again, he takes you through the entire thing. So you will learn open source intelligence, which is how to gather information about a company without hacking them or scanning them or touching them, just by using Google and the internet. How do you find information so that before you start hacking, you have all of this information and you're putting the pieces together so that you can develop a strategy and a surface area that you can later attack. And he also talks about the report, about writing the report, what should be included, what shouldn't be included, how should you write it, which is incredibly important, because we're going to be penetration testers, not just black hat hackers, right? So at the end of all of the hours spent, right, in an engagement, evaluating a company's network and systems, what is the end result of all of our work? The report. So it's really important that and I really like that he emphasized that, and that he gives you a lot of tips on what the report should look like and how to write one, a well-written one. So yeah, that's the book. So again, if you're a complete noob, a beginner, or even have a little bit of experience but are still struggling and having a hard time understanding what penetration testing is, the different phases, how does everything get put together, I recommend the book. Okay, so enough of that. The second way is through some hacking courses, videos on YouTube. So I'm going to show you 3 playlists, 3 ethical hacking courses for beginners that are on YouTube. And I know that there's more, actually. But I think that this would also be a great place to start. So the first one that I have here is the full ethical hacking course, Network Penetration Testing for Beginners. Now this is 2019, so it's not too dated. It's only about 3 years old. The book is older. So this is only about 3 years old, which is not too bad. You'll find it in the free code camp. And by the way, I'm going to include all of the links to the book, to these courses, in the description down below. So you see it's got 5 million views, it's got a ton of likes, and these are the areas covered by this course. Oh, and by the way, this one was done by the Cyber Mentor, so I don't know if you know him, but the Cyber Mentor is one of the most popular content creators and influencers in cybersecurity. He seems like a really nice guy. It seems that he's also a really good teacher as well. I've seen his videos, but I haven't done his courses. But I've heard really, really good things about him. So here in this course, the way that he lays it out is that in part 1, he's gonna introduce you into how to note keep. He's gonna introduce you into Linux, so you'll probably go and run through some basic commands that you'll need to know. Because in penetration testing, you need to know, you're gonna use the command line a lot, and you're going to do most of your work through the command line. So it's very important to know the very basic commands and just getting comfortable with it. I remember the first time I started writing on the command, it just felt so cool because it feels legit, it feels IT-ish. But at the same time, it was a little scary because you have no idea what you're doing. But you get used to it with time. So that's how he starts you off. Then in part 2 and 3, he'll run you through some Python and how to build a port scanner, or a terrible port scanner, I guess. In part 4, he's going to talk about open source intelligence and how to get started with that. Then he'll run through scanning tools and tactics. So some of the scanning tools that he'll present is like Nmap and things like that. Then enumeration. So enumeration, all that enumeration is, as you gather all of this information about a company, and then you run your scans on certain IP addresses and certain machines that you're allowed to scan and that they want you to evaluate, you start sending different commands, writing different commands, doing different scans, and then start collecting all of the information so that you'll find out what services are running on a server, on what ports, what's the operating system there, how old, from what year, etc. So you just want to make a list of everything that's running there, and then after that, you'll go through them and risk rank them, and then use a process and methodology to determine where you're going to start. So that's all enumeration is making a list of just putting all the information together in a list so that later on, when you start in the exploitation phase, you have already arranged it according to risk and how you want to attack it, and what's your best order for success. Part 7, then he'll talk about exploitation, shells, which basically is how to get a command line on the other computer. So you're going to hack into the other computer. How can you get a command line from your computer? So whatever you type in your computer gets executed in the target computer. Some credential stuffing, okay. Part 8, you'll run through how to build an Active Directory lab, LLMNR poisoning, NTLM v2 cracking with Hashcat. So all that's going to contain is you're going to have an Active Directory lab, which will be pretty cool, probably a domain controller and then 2 computers or 1 computer. And you're going to attack it to get the different files, the different hashes, and try to crack them with certain tools that exist so that maybe you can guess the password if weak passwords exist. So that'll be pretty cool. And most companies, if not 100%, then 90-95% of companies have Active Directory implemented. So that'll be a really good exercise to do, already getting introduced at such an early age to that, which is a very important skill to learn. In part 9, he's going to run through NTLM relay, token impersonation, pass the hash, PSExec, and more. then passwords, care bearer roasting as part of part 10. And then finally, part 11, you'll learn about file transfers, pivoting, report writing, and career advice. So it seems pretty cool. As we read through all of these topics seem like very important topics that we need to learn. And pretty interesting too. So yeah, that would be a lot of fun. This course looks like it's about 13, 14 hours long. So yeah, I think that you'll get a nice amount of information for free. And I hear that, again, I haven't done this course, but I know that the Cyber Mentor, his name is Heath Adams. He goes slow. He's a really good teacher, and yeah, I've heard really great things about him. So that's great. So yeah, I definitely recommend this. This is his channel, the Cyber Mentor. So he's got different videos and stuff that you can check out. So this is him. So yeah, if you haven't done so, check him out. Okay, so the next one is Ethical Hacking in 12 Hours, full course, learn to hack. I know it kind of seems repetitive. It's like, hey, this is the same guy. This is the same course, ethical hacking course. It's just 3 years newer, right? So this one's been posted this year. And I'm including it here because I ran through it, and I don't know if maybe he broke it out in more detail, but I saw certain things in here like IP addresses, MAC addresses, TCP, UDP, and the three-way handshake, the OSI model. I just saw certain things here that I didn't see in the first one, and the opposite is also true. I saw certain things in the first one that I didn't see here. They're free, so I'm like, hey, what the heck? Let's include them both. It won't hurt you, right? It won't hurt you. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff here. I'm not going to go through every single line. But as you can see here, you're definitely going to go through some coding, Google Foo. So this will be part of your gathering analysis or open source intelligence. Google Foo just means how to really use Google to extract all the power from it to get the most information that you can as possible. Scanning with Nmap. You see here you're going to install Chioptrix, which is a vulnerable machine that you can find in VulnHub. And apparently you're going to use that one as the target machine to practice all of your enumeration, your scanning, your exploitation, and all that. So it should be a lot of fun. I definitely recommend this. This should be a lot of fun. Awesome. Now, the last one is another ethical hacking course. This one is done by Hackersploit. He also has very interesting videos. Check him out. Subscribe if you haven't. And I'm including his because it's a little different than all of the other resources we've looked at. So if we just run through a few things. So he's going to go a little deeper into scanning. So he's going to give you advanced scanning techniques, aggressive scanning techniques. This is what I thought it was cool. He's going to show you how to use proxy chains so that you don't connect directly to the target, but instead go through a chain of different proxies or servers. So it's really hard to find out where the attack is coming from. So that's pretty cool, which helps you stay anonymous, like he adds here. How to change your IP, how to change your MAC address, again, how to stay anonymous. He's going to talk about VPN, DNS, the dark web, steganography. He's going to touch on automating your penetration testing. Okay, so you can see that this is pretty cool stuff, and it's more along the lines of when you think of hackers. You know, these are the kind of things that you think of. You know, hiding data and images, staying anonymous, pivoting from proxy chain to proxy, from proxy server to proxy server. So that's pretty cool. What else? He's got Metasploit, ARP spoofing. Yeah, this just looks like tons of fun. This just looks like tons of fun. I haven't done this, but I'm really looking forward to doing this one. And after I do, I'll probably make another video just to tell you guys what I thought and give you a little more details. But just from seeing this, based off of the video titles, it just looks like a ton of fun. And he's got a ton of videos too. Look at this. 174 videos. And he gets into privilege escalation too, guys, which is very important. All privilege escalation is that once you have exploited or hacked a computer, you may not already have admin access, but you want to have admin access. So to go from a normal user to admin, you need to escalate your privileges, and there's certain ways of doing that, and that's what he's going to touch on here. So all in all, I would definitely do this one, but I would probably leave this one at the end. So I'd probably start with the basics of hacking and penetration testing. I would start with a book. Then I would go with the 2019 course that you can find at Free Code Camp Academy. Then do the 12-hour course by the Cyber Mentor. By then, you're going to have a little more hands-on. You're just going to feel more comfortable. And you're going to understand things just by doing them over and over again and listening to them over and over again. You're just going to feel more comfortable, and you'll be able to connect more dots and understand things better. So by the time you get to this ethical hacking and penetration testing course, which seems a little more advanced in my opinion, you'll feel more comfortable, and you'll be able to go through it with more ease. Because there's nothing worse than going through all of these technical things and just feeling like, man, I'm so dumb. You know, it's like, I know nothing. So there's nothing worse than that feeling. It's really discouraging. It makes you think that, well, you know, maybe this is not for me. I wasn't hacking, you know, when I was 8 years old. You know, I'm 20 years old now, or I'm 30 years old now, and what am I going to do? You know, so it's never too late to hack. We just need to have a game plan. So that is my suggestion to you guys. And after you do all of these, now we're going to go into the last resource that I wanted to share with you. And this one is the one that I'm doing now, and it's been amazing so far, okay? And that one is the Penetration Testing Student course by INE. INE is a cybersecurity education company. They have tons of courses. I'm just going to show you guys here what they have. So they have tons of courses within networking, data science, and cybersecurity. The Penetration Testing Student is the first course that they have. And then you can go to Penetration Testing Professional, Exploit Development, Web Application Penetration Testing Professional, etc., etc. You get Mobile Application Penetration Testing. So all good stuff, right? So as you can see here, I'm 28% complete. I am in the midst of doing this, and it is awesome. So before I go into the details of this course, INE is, I believe, is the parent company of eLearn Security. eLearn Security offers certifications, and the courses that you find here in INE match or prepare you to take the different certifications that eLearn Security has. So for example, this Penetration Testing Student course will prepare you to be able to take the exam for the eLearn Security Junior Penetration Tester. So, or the eJPT. So that's like a very entry-level certification. That's the one that I'm going for now. And I gotta tell you guys, the course is awesome. So they break it down into 4 different buckets: the penetration testing prerequisites, preliminary skills and programming, penetration testing basics, and then the eJPT exam preparation. So if we go to the penetration testing prerequisites, they have several sections, so you'll notice that, well, let's open this up. So they'll have introduction where they'll they will touch on traffic sniffing, cryptography and VPN, Wireshark, which is the tool that you'll use to just capture the packets being sent back and forth, looking into the packets, etc. They include a lab down here. Then you'll go into networking. So this is where you're going to learn about internet protocols or IPs, IP addresses, the routing, link layer devices, TCP, UDP, firewalls, DNS, and then a few exercises on how to use Wireshark to analyze all of the packets from these different protocols. The next section after that is web applications. So you're going to go and see everything related to HTTP, the cookies, the protocol basics. So they do a really good job of running you through from the start. No prerequisite knowledge needed for this. They'll run through how the HTTP, how the computers and how the HTTP protocol works, and what makes it hackable, right? They'll run through certain tools like Burp Suite, which is huge in the web application or web exploitation industry. And then you'll have some labs at the end. So yeah, I already finished this one. This one was really, really cool. There were certain things that they ran through that I had already done. I had already practiced some hacks on the web exploitation side, on the network side. But the way that they break down everything was excellent. So that's what I really like. They go step by step, and they do a really good job of explaining things. So the next section is preliminary skills in programming. So here they'll run through C++, an introduction to programming, Python, the command line, which is super important. And that's about it, right? And then there's other sections, but I'm not going to run through the entire thing. I just want you to get an idea of the different topics that they cover and see if this is something that interests you, which I hope it does, because I highly, highly recommend this course. And the best thing about it is that it's free. So if you go get the starter pass, if you just create your free account, sign up for the starter pass, you'll have access to all of this training. So you'll have access to the entire training for the Penetration Testing Student course, which will prepare you to take the eLearn Security Junior Penetration Testing certification. So it'll be free, and you would only have to pay $200 to take the exam, which is not bad at all, actually. So I highly recommend it. Just so you get an idea, this is what it looks like. So most of the material are PowerPoint slides. So this is what it looked like. What is Python? And you'll just run through each slide. They'll have tons of graphics. I know that a lot of people get turned off by PowerPoint slides, and I'm one of them, to be quite honest, but I really love the way that they do it. To be honest, it doesn't bother me one bit. They just do a really good job in explaining everything, and they don't hurry you, and they're really clear in explaining all the concepts. So I totally, guys, I really, really recommend this. You can read the book first to just get a high-level idea, and you already have a framework of what penetration testing is like, how it is, and then you can do the hacking courses. So then you'll hack some VMs and get your hands on the keyboard, learn some more knowledge that you can add on to the basics of penetration testing book. Then keep practicing that, do the next course, and then go for this one. You probably don't even have to go through the ethical hacking and penetration testing complete course from Hackersploit before going to eLearn Security. Maybe you can do them both at the same time, but I don't think that one's a requirement. But for sure, start here. Like start with these resources, and definitely do INE's Penetration Testing Student. The reason I'm so adamant, I'm not getting paid. I don't work for them. I don't get any, you know, what do you call that? I don't have any affiliate links, right? I don't get any kickbacks. I just wish that I would have found this course earlier, because it's really helping me understand the concepts and how the different protocols work, how computers connect, what makes them hackable. And I've just been very pleased, and I feel like I know a lot more than I did before, even though I'm a total noob. So the other good thing about it is that it sets a linear path for you to follow. It just provides it for you. So all you have to do is go through it, and then once you go through it, if you feel prepared, take the exam. If not, practice some more in the labs, or practice hacking some easy vulnerable machines in one of the few websites that offer vulnerable machines, and I'll make a video on that too. And then take it, and then get your first cert, you know? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to include all of the links of everything we talked about down in the description below. And yeah, welcome to penetration testing. Let's do this together. Let's keep each other encouraged. Anyways, I'll see you next time, guys. I hope you like this. Bye.